You ever watch a superhero show and wonder, wait a second, is this guy even a superhero? Like, he wears the costume, he's got the name, he's got the ridiculous gadgets and the larger-than-life attitude, but then you pause and think, hold on, does he actually have powers? That's the feeling a lot of people are having with Peacemaker in Season 2, and honestly, it's one of the most fascinating things about the character. So let's rip this open and really get into it, because what you're about to see might just change the way you think, not just about Peacemaker, but about what a hero even is. So, here's the thing. Peacemaker lives in the DC universe. This is a world where people can fly through the sky, shoot lasers out of their eyes, lift cars like they're toys, and survive explosions that would turn us into dust. Superman exists. Hawkgirl exists. Green Lantern exists. There are metahumans and gods walking around like it's no big deal. And then you look at Peacemaker, this dude in shiny chrome helmet, pushing way too hard to prove himself, and you can't help but ask, what exactly does he bring to the table? And the truth is both harsh and kind of inspiring at the same time. Let's clear this up right away. Is Peacemaker a metahuman? No. Period. He has no biological superpowers. He's not Kryptonian, he wasn't bitten by something radioactive, he doesn't have alien DNA, he wasn't gifted with the Speed Force, none of that. Chris Smith, our Peacemaker, is just a guy. And sometimes he's a deeply broken, messed up guy at that. He doesn't wake up super strong. He doesn't heal faster than average. He can't leap across buildings or summon energy from another dimension. When you strip it all down, he's just human. Just like Batman or Green Arrow, except with a personality that's a whole lot rougher and way less polished. But here's where it gets interesting. If he has no powers, why does he stand on the same stage as people who could crush him in seconds? Why do we still say his name in the same sentence as metahumans? The answer is, in a weird way, kind of hopeful. It shows us that sometimes being great isn't about the powers you were born with, it's about the skills, the drive, and the messed up willingness to do what others can't. Peacemaker puts it right in our faces. He's got this one claim to fame: he is one of the greatest marksmen alive. And when he says it, you almost laugh, but then you watch him use any weapon, literally any weapon, and hit his target dead on, and you realize, okay, he's not exaggerating. Guns, bows, swords, knives, makeshift tools, it doesn't matter. His accuracy is freakishly precise. And unlike Superman's strength, which comes naturally, Peacemaker had to earn this skill. He trained. He obsessed. He honed it like it was the only thing keeping him alive, because in his world, without powers, it kind of was. And it doesn't end there. He's brutal in hand-to-hand combat. If you watched Suicide Squad, you know exactly how far he's willing to go. That infamous fight with Rick Flag wasn't just about two strong guys brawling. What you saw in that moment was Peacemaker's sheer, savage determination not to lose. He'll go darker, harder, more ruthless than his opponent if it means survival. And that says something. It says that, in his own twisted way, his power isn't super strength or invulnerability, it's his terrifying refusal to back down, even when maybe he should. Now let me break it down real quick, because this is where the line between superhuman and human gets really blurry. Without superpowers, Peacemaker survives because of three things. First, skill. We're talking world-class marksman, top-tier fighter. He's polished in ways most regular people will never even understand. Second, gadgets. His helmets aren't just shiny collectibles. They're weapons. One helmet can create a sonic boom that literally obliterates enemies. Another gives him X-ray vision, letting him spot hidden threats. There's even one that lets him breathe underwater, another that acts like a force field, and one that literally turns him into a human torpedo, blasting through obstacles with terrifying speed. Third, sheer willpower. His stubbornness, his desperation to prove himself, his broken need to matter. It keeps him going where anyone else would give up. So even without being a metahuman, he manages to hang in that world. And that's exactly why his story hits so hard emotionally. Because if we're honest, most of us are not Superman. We're not Hawkgirl or Green Lantern or Flash. We're human. We don't wake up with impossible power. We wake up ordinary. And we look at people like Peacemaker, flawed, desperate, trying too hard, constantly overcompensating but still standing toe-to-toe with giants, and we can't help but say, damn. That's us. That's me. That sense of fighting with what little we have, trying to belong in a world that constantly makes us feel small, unworthy, left out. Peacemaker wears his pain and insecurity loud, but in a way, he's screaming for all of us who feel powerless but still want to matter. And let's not ignore the dark side. Because the helmets, the skills, the gadgets, those aren't free. They're bandages for wounds he won't admit to. His obsession with peace at any cost is really a mask for the chaos inside him. His broken childhood, the abuse, the craving for approval he never really got, it fuels him, but it also poisons him. And that's real too. Because many of us know what it's like to chase after something not just because we love it, but because we're terrified of feeling worthless without it. And that is where Peacemaker's lack of powers becomes more of a story than any super strength ever could. So when you ask, does Peacemaker have any actual superpowers? The answer is no. He's not powered up the way you'd think. But maybe that's the twist. Maybe his truest superpower isn't in his helmets, or his marksmanship, or his fists. Maybe it's in his ability to get up, to try again, to prove over and over that he's willing to step into arenas he technically doesn't belong in and still demand a place at the table. Maybe his superpower is the one all of us secretly hope we have, the power to keep going, even when you're outmatched, even when the deck is stacked against you, even when you're just human. And that's why his Season 2 audition for Superman's Justice Gang feels so raw. Because here's a man with no powers standing in front of gods, saying, I'm worthy. It's ridiculous. It's tragic. It's kind of pathetic. But it's also powerful. Because in that moment, he's not just fighting for a spot in a superhero club, he's fighting for the idea that humans, broken and ordinary, still deserve to be counted. And if you think about it, that's the real heart of the story. The world tells us constantly, you're not special enough, you're not strong enough, you're not gifted enough. But Peacemaker stands there and says, so what? Maybe I wasn't born with it. Maybe I didn't get lucky. Maybe all I've got are scars, helmets, and too much stubbornness for my own good. But I'm still here. I still matter. And so do you. That's the takeaway. Peacemaker doesn't have superpowers. Not the flashy kind, not the comic book kind. But he is something else, something raw and painful and relatable. And that makes him one of the most real characters in a universe full of impossibilities. He shows us that heroism isn't about flying or smashing mountains, it's about facing your demons, taking your hits, and still showing up anyway. So the next time someone asks, is Peacemaker really superpowered, you can say, no. But he doesn't need to be. His power is that he never quits. He fights with everything he has, even if it's not much. And maybe that's the lesson we were meant to see all along. Before you go, let me ask you something. Does that hit you the way it hits me? Do you look at Peacemaker and see a messed up comic book character, or do you see a mirror of your own life? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I seriously want to hear them. And if this spoke to you, if you've ever felt ordinary in a world of people who seem extraordinary, then don't just click away, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear that being human is enough. Because in this community, we're not gods or aliens, we're people. And that's more than enough.